world has changed. This isn't some big revelation, I know, but the fact of the matter is that the world has changed, but the laws have not. For too long, senseless gun violence has cowered behind the Second Amendment, and too long has real progress been blocked by fear and ignorance. And so, we all find ourselves taking part of a national movement to make sense of the senseless and to not only atone for the mistakes of the past, but to prevent the blunders of the future, guided by the change we seek and the progress we make. If I wanted to get a gun, I would have to undergo a preliminary training course, then pass both a written and practical tests. From there, I would have to meet health requirements and meet certain renewals and inspections at certain points. Wait. No, that's a car. If I wanted a gun, I could just go to a gun show and buy one in 7 seconds. And unlike cars, guns exist for one reason and one reason only: to kill. The death that comes as the result of a gun is not a side effect, it is the effect. And thus, we cannot treat them the same. We cannot afford to look upon them the same way we look upon anything else, because when we do so, human lives are at risk.
Yes.
66% of Americans support stricter gun control, according to a recent poll, which is the highest it's ever been. So why is it so hard to do anything? Why is it so hard to bring about change when the vast majority of the country supports it? When the vocal minority drowns out the silent majority, there is only one solution. We, the silent majority, must raise our voices across the nation. We all have to band together and speak out, and we will continue to speak out until our voice is heard, until we are listened to, and until the change we seek is brought about. Guns have no boundaries, whether it is the televised mass shootings that seem to place them in the forefront, or the silent epidemic that claims 96 lives every day in this country. It is clear that guns are a problem. And yet, for over 2 decades, the CDC has been blocked from receiving any funding to researching gun violence. Is America truly so sick, so twisted, we cannot even examine the very disease that is killing us? Is this country so infatuated with weapons that we are willing to sacrifice thousands and thousands of lives just for the sake of its existence? Are the priorities of America so contorted that we would rather protect our guns than our future? To those older than us, I ask you, what do you want your legacy to be? What kind of world do you want to leave behind? And to us as a generation, we have to decide what kind of world we want to inherit and what kind of world we want to pass on to our children. Because this fight, this struggle, extends far beyond the reaches of our community or our country. It extends beyond even the reaches of gun control. Because at the core of it, this is a fight for a better world. The generation that emerged out of the crucible that was World War I was known as the lost generation. Well, we've emerged from our own crucible, but we're not the lost generation. No, we're the last generation. The last generation to experience school shootings. The last generation to tolerate racism and sexism and all forms of intolerance. The last generation to stand idly by as we witness war, violence, and inequality. We will not accomplish this in the first year, or in 10 years, or maybe even in 10,000 years. But we take this first step towards a brighter tomorrow and a better future today, here, now. Because if not us, who? If not now, when? I'm asking each and every one of you to take a stand today. A stand against tyranny and oppression wherever it may be. A stand against violence and bloodshed, whoever may commit it. A stand for peace, for justice, for equality. A stand for humanity. Thank you.